Yo guys, what's up? This is Scammers from MenuDocs coming back at you again with another video. Except today we're going to be starting off a new series. And that series is quite simply put, an introduction to Python. It's not going to be, covering absolutely everything. The aim of the series is just for me to go over Python concepts and sort of introduce you to enough things that you can feel comfortable following through with our other Python theories and, not being left out. So it's basically like hello world stuff. What are variables, conditionals like if statements, loops, functions, decorators, especially decorators because that's just good.py does. And then we're going to go into some classes, cool things to do with classes, how to modularize stuff, make your own package. Then we're going to go into some data requests, data storage, databases, cap it off with async and await, which is what we need for discord.py, as well as, some stuff like sorting and using tools like the debugger or profiling. Let's dive straight into it. So basically today we're just going to be installing Python, running hello world, and then using Pycharm because that's what I want to get set up for this series because I think Pycharm is brilliant. And that's how I'm going to be showcasing the series from sort of here on out. Anyway, so basically you're just going to type in Python into your search bar, and then this first link, python.org, going to pop up. Nice and cool. We can go to downloads and then whatever the version is for you. Now, you might be following on with this a bit later on down the line, and that's perfectly okay. And then pretty much all we're going to be doing here is just save it. You can just run it. It'll pop up with, Windows being like, hey, you're not allowed to run this. Yeah, cool. I want to install it anyway. And then the key thing here is that you want to add this to path. You always want to add it to path because a path is basically just a list that your computer has, which says where everything is. So it goes like, hey man, I'm trying to look for your house. I'm trying to deliver mail to your house. Where is it? And then it's just like, oh yeah, here's my address. And the address is just in a place in the path, so it knows where to go. So by adding it to path, it means it'll be recognized by the computer. So if you type Python, it'll go, I know what that is. We could just go ahead and click install now. If you don't have admin perms, you can unclick install for all users, and then that'll just install it for yourself. You don't need admin perms for that, which is the great thing about it. If you're using a parent's laptop or something and they've got it locked down, you don't have admin. That's kind of the good thing anyway. Installation doesn't take too long, so I'm happy to sort of just sit here. We'll pull this down a bit, and then you can see some basic code up here as well. Just get you familiar with that sort of syntax, as I want to point it out. Anyway, it's just installing pip now. So that's basically it. Set up with success. You can disable the path left if you want, but we're just going to close this for now. And then we're going to go into command prompt here, type in command, and then if we just type in Python, it'll put us into this nice interactive little REPL, as they call it. So read, evaluate, print, loop, something like that. And it's just an interpreter. So Python is an interpreted language, which means you can run it as you type it. So we can go like x equals 10, and that's going to set x equal to 10, and then if we type x, it'll print it out. Normally you'd have to go print x. The way this console works is anything you print out, if it's just a variable and it's not being like assigned to something, it'll print it out. Anyways, what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and say, hello world, as we do. That's kind of cool. Anyway, another thing that we can do is if we just close this for now, we're going to go into my downloads folder. And then we're going to go ahead and let's make a new file. We can ignore that, and then we're just going to open this up. I'll drag it over, and then let's type some Python code out. So we're just going to go ahead and go print hello world. So print just puts things on the screen as we could see before. And now if we want to go file, save as, and then we're going to go change this to all files, and we're just going to go hello.py. Change that to all files, and that way when we hit save, we can close this, and you notice it's created this hello.py file. We can get rid of this. A key thing to note when you want to run a Python file is you don't double click it. Double clicking the file won't actually run the file like you might expect. These are not executable files. You have to call them with Python. So if I just go cmd, open up a command prompt here, and then we can go python hello.py, and that will run the file for us. We can't double click the file. Anyway, that's all for this little half. Now we're going to go ahead and show you how to get Pycharm set up, and then that's what we're done for. We're going to go Pycharm. Down here you can just type it into Google, and you can download. Personally, you can just get the community one. It's quite nice. You just click download. You're going to go through with this. Run the downloader, double click it to run it. Ignore Microsoft trying to stop you from installing things from outside of the store, and then you're just going to follow the installer. So that's just popped up asking for permissions. You're just going to follow the installer. You get to pick where you want it to install. Personally, I like to select this, and what that allows you to do is select a file, and if you right click on it, you can then open it with Pycharm. So I think that's quite a nice little point. Adding it to path is always quite nice. You can create a desktop shortcut if you want, and if you're not going to have any other editors, you might as well create an association. So that just means if you double click on a file, it's going to open it in Pycharm. We click next, and then you just click install, but I've already got it installed. And then once you've got it installed, you're just going to type Pycharm into here, and then just click enter. I think I've already got something open, so I'm just going to pause it and go back to the home screen. Sweet, I've just gone back to the home menu because I did indeed have this base open. You won't have this when you install it. This is just because I already use Pycharm, so these are sort of all of my projects just chilling in here. But basically you've got projects, you can go into customization. I think there's an initial setup when you first install it. I can't quite remember, but basically just follow the process. Personally, we're running Visual Studio Code, apparently. I thought I was on Darkula, to be honest with you, but we'll go with Visual Studio Code Dark Plus. You know, font size, key map, plugins. Personally, I like to have .ignore for when we work with Kit. Coblocks is kind of nice, just lets you sort things nicely. We do have the Darkula theme, I just don't have it turned on at the moment. Data law is for things we'll get to later on in the series. Discord integration, if you want it to pop up in Discord saying like working on Python project, editing this file, I would recommend getting this. This is probably the best one here. Requirements.txt is quite cool as well, and then there's just more themes. So if you want a theme, you know, you just go to Marketplace and you just search by themes, and then you get all of these cool themes. But you know, there's quite a few nice ones in here. You can just scroll through and look for whatever you want, such as let's take a look at this ASCII.doc files in the IDE. Yeah. Anyway, there's a nice little learning Pycharm section as well, because we're not going to go into Pycharm a lot. You might want to go through with this if you're not feeling too comfortable. Otherwise, it's all good. And then we've got about down here and a few other things. But basically, what we want to click new project. You won't have all of these on the left, just because I use a professional edition. But essentially, you just want to pick Python. You can pick where you want to install it. So I want to make a new Python project in my Python folder, and then we'll go hello_world. We're going to select that, and then we're not using virtual environments yet, so we're just going to click previously configured interpreter. Although something to note is that we're actually going to use this now, and I'm going to sort of show you how it works. So we're going to click create, and while that's creating, basically a virtual environment is a way of sort of segregating. Alright, here we go. This is Discord integration. So we're going to click show project and files, and then sort of if I jump over into Discord, I can drag that across, and then you'll notice it says playing Pycharm professional, hello world, and it's quite cool. Cool, and you'll notice we've got this now folder up here. We've got project, and this is called Vend, and then this just shows our project, and there's nothing else in there at the moment. External libraries, scratches, and consoles we can just ignore. But pretty much the virtual environment, if your project has this folder called Vend, that means that it's not going to be using the packages from the global interpreter. So Python uses like a global interpreter, so that's like if you install, say, like the requests package for making web requests, it's going to get installed. So we just go command, so we can go pip install, and then if we go requests here, this is going to install the request library. I've already got it, but that's going to install it for the entire computer. But if we're working out of a Vend here, that means it's only going to be installed for this project. But we're going to have an episode later on down the line for virtual environments, so don't worry about it too much. Just know that if you're in a virtual environment here, you'll have to go into the terminal and then just pip install things here, because if I go pip install requests, you'll notice that it does actually install it because it wasn't installed before. So it's just a way of keeping it separate, basically, so that your project only has what it needs to use to run. Basically, we're going to show you a couple more things, and that's how to create a new file. So we can just go new. You could go new file or new Python file. We're going to go new Python. I'm going to go hello, hit enter. It'll automatically create that for you. And then if we type print hello world. This is why I do want Darkula. So if we go file, we'll change this later on. I'll show you the file. So basically we can go hello world. And then if you want to run any code, you can either sort of right click on the file and click run hello, or run whatever your file is. This will make a configuration up here, but for now we'll just delete that. And so you could go up here, you go open add configuration, new, and then you just want to find Python in this list. And then script path is just the path of the script we want. So we want to run hello.py, so we're going to click OK, and then the rest of this we're going to ignore until later on down the line. And now we've got this nice little thing here. If we want to run two things, we can have two, and then we can select which one we want to run. And then for now we're just going to focus on hello, and then if we click it, we see that it runs nice and easy there, just in that bottom right. Anyway, that's basically all you're going to need for the first part of the tutorial. It's just how to create one of these, how to use it. And then we're going to go up here. We've got a few things up here. You know, you've got help, we've got window, version control for later on, tools. This is like all the things that we've put in, deployment, Python debuggers. You know, we've got spaces, sharings, HTTP clients, but basically don't worry about any of this. Running's quite nice, but that's basically just a tab for what you've got over here in the top right. Code lets you put stuff in, like code completion. You can inspect your code, analyze your code, you know, a lot of things. Live templates are nice, we'll show you those later on. You can comment with lines, optimize inputs, There's a lot to do. I just recommend sort of playing around with it and it'll make your life quite nice and easy. But what we want to do is go File, and then we want to go Settings. And then within Settings, there's a whole bunch of them. Basically, you've got like Appearance and Behavior. Again, I'll just let you play around with all of these. What I want to do is I want to change my theme. So Appearance, Theme, Visual Studio Dark, and I want Darkular. That's not quite right. I'm not sure what I've done to my themes here, to be honest with you. I think I want Darkular. There we go. That looks a bit more like it. We'll actually go back to Darkular, but you know, if I show off Hyper-V Dark, you notice here that it changes it a significant amount. And we'll just play around with some of these, you know. Xcode, ooh, that's quite nice. I might use that later on. Who knows? But you can use whatever you want. And then we've got high contrast. Personally, not a fan. It looks quite bad in my opinion. So we're going to go back to just Darkular, go like this, and then just like that, you know, we're back to the sort of default down here. We can see project, we can see project files, open files, but personally I just chill on project. You can drag this across as well, quite nice. I normally roll about there. And that's basically all you're going to need to know for the first few episodes, and then we'll introduce more concepts as we go along and need them. Anyway, thanks for watching guys, and I hope you like this introduction to Python series, and we'll see you in the next one when we start going over things like variables and data type. Peace out.